So this is my part 2 of why I stopped playing Call of Duty. Link to part 1 will be in the description. So my second reason why I stopped playing is no innovation both single player and multiplayer. The core gameplay is still the same for nearly 20 years. The Call of Duty games have become so over-casualized that it's about time to change and innovate. Look at the Metal Gear games, for example. The franchise has been around since the 80s and each iteration is always different. It's never the same game. And that's what made the Metal Gear games feel fresh, except for Metal Gear Survive. Going back to COD, at this point, change needs to desperately happen to the franchise. If I were to change Call of Duty, they should start with the campaign level design first. I've played the Call of Duty games from Call of Duty 3 to Modern Warfare Remastered, and the level design is just going from point A to point B. It's just shoot and move forward for 16 years. It wouldn't hurt to innovate the level design a little, you know. If I were to reimagine Call of Duty's level design, I would make missions have a 360-degree approach. What I mean by this is to approach the objective in any way I want. I don't want to be forced into a gunfight or forced to go through a turret section. I want to have the option to go loud or go silent. It would make missions less linear and it would encourage the player to be creative on how they approach the game's objectives. Next is Call of Duty's excessive action as well. It's so extreme and unnecessary that it makes the game look like a joke. The best example is this scene from Call of Duty World War II. The action is so excessive that it will make Michael Bay get a boner. As for multiplayer, it became like an RNG shooter. There are times where I can get a 20+ kill streak, which makes me feel skilled, but I suddenly get cheesed by a random grenade. That's what I mean by Call of Duty feeling like an RNG shooter. There are plenty of times that the game rewards players with no skill whatsoever, like campers, grenade spammers, and players that spawn behind you and kill you, making Call of Duty feel like a luck-based shooter than a skill shooter. So yeah, there are plenty of times luck is involved playing this game. My third reason for leaving COD is it's an out-of-touch game. What I mean by this is Call of Duty lost its way and has clearly forgotten what made it great. It was originally a game that pays homage to soldiers, but now it has turned into a ridiculous power fantasy that will surely give Ronald Reagan's ghost a boner or something. Now, for my fourth reason, it's published by Activision. I may get a lot of hate for saying this, but Activision is a more piece of shit company than Electronic Arts. Believe it or not, EA has made more ethical decisions than Activision. Activision, however, has gotten away with market inflation, laid off around 800 employees, exploited gambling addictions of many players, and now they are selling a red dot reticle for $1.50. They are doing whatever it takes to monetize everything in their games. And that's one of the major reasons why I stopped playing any Activision game. That includes Call of Duty and Overwatch and whatever. Anything that's published by Activision. My last reason is very simple. There are other better games with better prices. Call of Duty doesn't respect its players anymore. If Activision were to be honest with their player base, they just want to milk our wallets dry. nothing else. I've moved on to other games which treats gamers with love and respect. The best example is The Witcher 3, and there are other multiplayer games out there that has fair monetization practices. The best example I can give is Warframe. Hell, even porn games are more decent than recent Call of Duty titles. If you really are a true gamer, try out some other game. There are so many better games out there in the market that you are missing out. I encourage you to try something else, other than Call of Duty. Who knows, maybe you'll end up liking it, but hey, who am I to tell you what game to enjoy? I'm just, encouraging you to try out something different. But if you actually enjoy being treated like shit, or enjoy the over-casualized experience of Call of Duty, well, hey, you do you, buddy. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all for watching until the very end. Check out part 1 if you haven't seen it yet. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Check out my channel if you have the time. I make videos about other games too. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you when I see you. Take care.
Fresh out the kitchen, mama rolling that body, got every net intuition.